Good evening, Revaluators. Ryan Dendievel, VP of Business Development here. Wanted to record a quick video to bring to everyone's attention some functionality that we sort of pushed out under the radar a little bit ago. Some of you already know about it, some of you don't though, and I think it's actually something that's going to be very helpful for those of you who use the integration that we pushed the update to. You probably notice I'm wearing my Follow-Up Boss hat, and that's because what we're going to talk about is an update to the Follow-Up Boss API integration. And so I'm going to share my screen and just kind of show you guys a little bit of this really cool new function. So let me share my screen. Oh yeah, go Bills. You see here our Revaluate dashboard, and if you go to the settings tab in your Revaluate dashboard, you can see the Follow-Up Boss integration tab. Now, if you have a Follow-Up Boss account, you probably already have your API key in here, and we can have the two-way integration to pull contacts into Revaluate and push the scores back. What you may or may not be familiar with is this highlighted section right here that says enable tagging. So the cool Follow-Up Boss is great as far as being able to push the scores in and make that searchable, sortable, filterable, and even make smart lists off of that. The one thing that we were not able to previously do though is fire automations using Follow-Up Boss's native automation programming based off of a custom field. So I worked with the dev team on putting it as a priority, and we pushed out an update a couple of months ago. We've tested it now, it's working. And what it will do is push a tag that correlates to one of the three categories that we identify in our dashboard so that you can use that tag to trigger automations within Follow-Up Boss's native automation environment. Tags are Revaluate VLM for very likely mover, the 80 pluses, Revaluate ENG for the engaged group, the 80 to 40s, and Revaluate not ENG for the people below 40. When someone transitions from engaged mover to very likely mover, the integration will delete the old tag and append the new tag. So any automations you set up for each of those three categories can be started and stopped based upon the score by way of this tagging function. So I'm going to pull up our Follow-Up Boss account and kind of show you what it looks like in the wild, so to speak. This is, our dev account. So these are all just kind of tester emails, but you see the score here, you see the tag here. So that tag then can be used if you go to admin and you go to automations, you can use that tag Revaluate to trigger an automation. You can add conditions so that it only reaches out to certain people who end up with that tag. And you can use this automation function here to reassign, to add a note, or to trigger an action plan. If you go into the action plans, if you're not familiar with this already, there's an action plan library of looks like just about 1,000 different action plans that you can kind of sift through to see which ones are going to make the most sense based upon somebody's score. But allowing that automation to really do the heavy lifting of the marketing and the communication for you is going to be a great win for everybody who uses Follow-Up Boss. I wanted to show you this too. I took the liberty to create an automation for you guys if it's something that you utilize. I know I spoke with a couple of the people who were helping us to test this out who mentioned that with the tag is adding and being removed, they wanted to be able to know when that tag had moved or when that person had transitioned from one stage to the next. So in the Follow-Up Boss library for automations already, I added and shared this. The Revaluate category change adds note to timeline. So when they tag for very likely mover, engaged or not engaged is appended to the contact, if you activate this automation, it will add a note, and that note just says this person's Revaluate category changed based on a score of, and then puts the Revaluate score that caused the change in tagging for you. If you use your timeline so you can keep track of when things are going on, if you have a lot of different systems in place, that can be a real quick, easy win. So you don't have to build that. I built it for you, and it's in Follow-Up Boss right now. I am working with the team over at Follow-Up Boss to try and get a couple of action plans geared around the 80 plus and the engaged movers baked into the library so that you guys don't have to do that much thinking or heavy lifting of cultivating that yourself. But in the meantime, if you build a cool automation and you want to share that, please do so. In the comments on this video, I'll put the link to this automation for anybody who wants to activate it in their Follow Up Boss account so that you can start to utilize that tagging upgrade and that functionality. Any questions on any of this or ideas or things that are working well for you, please feel free to drop them in the comments or message me directly. I know this can help with a lot of different systems like that allow an appended tag to fire their system, such as Conversion Monster, Call Action, Agent Legend, YLOPO. If any of those systems that you utilize, you need to append a tag to move it into their system, then if you're going to use our score as the trigger to do that, now you can do it without the need of having a Zapier account or knowing how to leverage Zapier. It can all be done right within Follow Up Boss's native ecosystem. Let me know what you think. Hope that helps a whole bunch of you. And please feel free to share this video with anybody you know that has Follow Up Boss and Revaluate that may or may not be in the group here. Invite them to the group. Thanks. Have a great day.